right, everybody, we are live here. Thank you for joining us. This is AJ Graham. Also with me, I got Jamie Sear.
See,
It's
it's
late
so
night,
weird
all day.
now. I know, changing that
I
up
have to
on you.
have to
It's
think
so
about it.
weird.
Like, wait, hold up, that's not right.
Who the hell is she?
You notice the slight hesitation I had there.
I did, but you picked it up quick. You was like, I got this.
And we gonna rock with it. So why isn't it showing up here? Okay, there we go. So I'm hearing some good news today with Mr. Tory Lanez achieving a 10-year bid in prison. With Mr.
10
Tory Lanez.
years.
And
Dang.
all you had to do, Mr. Lanez, all you had to do is be an entertainer. That's all you had to do.
All you have to do is not shoot somebody in their toe. Megan
So
already has jacked up toes, and for him to shoot her anywhere near the foot area is not cute at all.
she has jacked up toes. I've never seen her feet.
Oh
I'm
my
not a
god,
feet guy.
Google picture of like Megan the Stallion's feet. They always
No,
be harping on her feet. She got like
I
finger
won't be.
toes. They long.
I
You
won't
couldn't
be.
miss that with a bullet. They long.
I will not be googling any celebrity feet. I don't want my algorithm to be like, oh, you like feet? Let I got feet for you, my boy. Don't want none
Listen.
of that.
So now he got 10 years. He got to take his ass back to Canada. And even the writings of Iggy Azalea could not save his ass. And she wrote, did you see? She wrote like a 5-page letter to the judge for him.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey,
Wow.
Amanda. Like, my thing is, okay, I think the 10 years is excessive. 10 years for shooting somebody in their toe is excessive. So they definitely used him as an example. But he still deserved to go to jail. There are people like, oh, I'm not going to listen to Megan Thee Stallion no more. No, this is wrong. No, no, no. End of the day, he still shot. Whether it was her foot at her, he had a gun in her vicinity and it went off. And that should not have happened. So he does
He
deserve to go to jail. But 10 years is a lot. So just send his ass back to Canada and don't let him come back.
he
That's like
probably
prison.
won't serve the whole sentence.
He's not. No. I mean, if he was smart, he would have did like Diddy did and had somebody else take the charge for him. But he don't got Diddy money, so he can't
I
pay
was like, he
nobody
ain't
like Diddy.
he ain't famous enough for
He is not famous. Listen,
that.
Shine is already a prince over there. But he said, "I'll take this bid for Diddy." And Shine came out. And he's living his best life with all of the coins that Diddy left him and his royalties.
No, I mean, I couldn't name you one Tory Lanez song. To be honest
Who? Okay, wait, I have to Google this because what songs do?
with you.
Let's
I
see.
mean, if anybody watching, if you know a Tory Lanez
If
song
you
that's
are a
like
Tory
popular, let
Lanez
us know.
fan,
I
please
couldn't
let
name
us
one
know.
song. So like, was he dating Meg The Stallion at the time? Like, why was he even like
Oh, okay,
with
I know
her?
what song he has. Oh, I do like that song. Oh well, bye. Um, somebody will take it and remix it. Yeah, he has that "Say It" song, which is just a remix of I think actually a Bad Boy song, and then he has this other song "Love," which is like a reggae sound to it. So he will not be missed. Go back. Do not
I
shoot
mean,
at. Protect our black women. You did not do that, Tori. Must be the Canadian in you. So now you can go back home.
it was were they dating or something?
They were like seeing each other. I don't know how they do it in the rap celeb world.
I heard he.
Nowadays they all see each other, so whatever. They were like together for a bit there, and then they were out. I don't even know how this whole shot thing. Like, why did he have a gun? Like, what? There's no actual backstory to it, which is why everybody's arguing. Like, oh, it's all circumstantial evidence and blah blah blah. End of the day, he still had a gun. It still went off. She still got nicked, had a little bandit on her ankle for like 2 days, and so now he's gonna serve his little sentence and go back to Canada,
So
rightfully so.
so today we're gonna talk about a very hot topic, especially within the black community, because it's been ringing very popular. and that is the Montgomery boat brawl. Is that what they're calling it?
The Montgomery Brawl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you have been living under a rock for the past few days,
You must have been.
basically what happened. There was one of those waterfront boat ferries. I guess it goes around, like, people ride
It
on
was
it, and
the riverboat.
Riverboat, and it needed to dock. There was some gentlemen that had their boat parked where it should not have been parked because that's where the boat goes.
Richard Roberts. He had
Richard
two first
Roberts.
names, so we should have known right then. Okay.
I didn't get any names from anybody.
I got the names. I got them.
All right. So, the boat needed to, it needed to dock. Seen it there, so the boat had to make another lap.
Mm-hmm.
Security guard was trying to get them to move. The boat had to do another lap. So it took the boat almost like 40 minutes to actually get to where it needed to go.
Actual laps, which is it takes about 15 minutes for the boat to turn itself around each time. So a little bit, almost over 45 minutes for the boat to even get back close to the dock, because those people felt entitled and that the dock was theirs when they were already warned. He had warned them apparently twice. Don't park the boat here. Because he was on the ship. He must have gone around. He was the person telling people don't dock here. So when he came back down, they left the boat and got off.
Right.
So he said, I had to take matters into my own hands. This boat needs to pull in because these people need to get off, and the next ticket people are waiting to get on. So he pulled it forward. He was pulling it forward with the rope. If he wanted to be smart, he could have just untied it and pushed that thing off into the water. No, he pulled it forward and moved it out the way.
So, the owners of the boat, they got upset. So they started getting in the security guard's face. It was, at this time, it was 1 against, 4 or 5 or something like that. So they're just...
It was the 3 adult men, 1 teenager, a teenage daughter, an adult woman, and the wife.
So, they're teaming up on the security guard. And before you know it, we had everybody coming out the woodworks. They had people coming. They had one young man, 16 years old. He swam across the water to help this guy out.
C Murder was like, we're not having this today. He
wasn't having it.
Yeah, he jumped off the other riverboat that was on the other side and swam.
He swam across, and before you know it, we had a whole brawl. And, if you go and look, they got camera angles from all sides. You got angles from up above, from the ground level, from the left, from the right, so you can see everything that's happening. And you can see it's basically, I don't want to say it was a race war, but we came to defend our own. It was looking kind of like this. You're like, that's pretty much what was happening. I mean, it's a fair assessment. You got the boat in the background. You got black people on one side, white people on the other side, and this is where white privilege met black excellence. We wasn't having it. We wasn't having it this time.
Ancestors. It is not 1953 anymore. We are not our ancestors. You will not put your hands on one of us and think that the rest of us aren't going to stand behind them. We are not doing this anymore. We are not doing this anymore. We are not staying silent. I'm not giving up my seat on the bus. You're not about to put your hands. That was somebody's grandfather, uncle, husband, brother.
Yeah.
All he was doing was his job. I guarantee you he was just an older gentleman trying to help his family make ends meet, probably trying to help the grandbabies get into college, working that little side job at the riverboat, minding his business. And they felt we were going to jump on. They were stomping and kicking on him. That was the people like, oh yeah, but when the black people started jumping in, they started kicking him. Watch the video. They were kicking him in his head when he got down on the ground. That woman stomped on him, kicked at him. So when they got stomped out too, it was fair game.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we gotta.
Fair game. Don't dish that out if you can't take it back.
All right, so yeah, got one person here saying there was a white doctor that was punched by them too.
But he only got punched because he got in the way.
I mean, I mean, from a distance, if you don't know what's happening, you know, oh,
It was
I gotta go help my people. Cause like, you know, the main security guard, you know, he's on the ground. And all you see is a bunch of white people stomping him. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh well, and that's another thing. I had a friend, Chanoa, shout out to her, she watches. She said, I don't ever want to hear nobody say that black people don't stick together. Because I mean, this story could have been totally different. Because like,
Thank you.
what if
They could have hurt
nobody,
him
no,
and then just walked off. They could have walked away and
yeah,
had no justice served for this man, because if you watch another girl's video where she's recording, where she's actually talking to the cops at one point, because the cops at that point had started only arresting the black people. And this girl had the video and she's like, no, you need to arrest him, him, and him. They started and they were about to arrest the security guard. And she yelled, no, he was the one being attacked. You have to find it, the video of the girl. She's the one who's on the dock at the top with a bunch of other men. And she's like, nuh-uh, don't arrest him. He was the one who was attacked first. This is the reason why this is happening. And then they go, who, him? And she's like, yeah, that's the security guard they attacked. And then they left him alone. And then the families, the girl started crying, the little white girl, her and the little mom. And the girl goes, don't cry now. Don't cry now. Y'all wasn't crying when y'all was jumping on him first. Y'all just got back what y'all put out. So,
you know, people were bringing, you know, they had one guy who famously, you know, he had to bring his chair. He brought the chair. So
the
chair. Straight up WWE style with the chair. Also, I don't know if anybody noticed it. I noticed it because I'm a wrestling fan. Somebody got rock bottom during that fight. And I'm like, I know that shit. I know that hurt. I know that hurt. You gonna pick somebody up in the air, sweep their leg, and down to the ground? Nah, that I know you felt that for a few days. I know that was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that one.
Richard, Allen, and Zachary all had to turn themselves in, and that's all that matters to me. I'm upset that they were allowed to just leave, and then they still had to turn themselves in. But apparently, homeboy with the chair had to turn himself in too, because they let him go. And then he ended up, they got his name and stuff. They let him go, but he had to come turn himself in. He would have been fine, but he hit that woman over the head. That's what got, because I saw, if you watch the video, he hits that dude in that picture first. Cops didn't come at him until he hit the woman over the head with the chair. That's when they said, okay, sir, you've had enough.
You know, if you go back and watch the video, I noticed it later, like one of the later videos from a higher up angle, you can see the police officers not really stepping in right away.
No, they just kind of put their, at one point, one of them just is kind of like, no, don't do that. They don't step in really until the chair stuff starts. Then they started putting people in handcuffs. Then they was like, all right, let's act like we're doing something. Because it was mostly black cops. Did you see? It was a majority. I think there was maybe one white cop, but even the female officer was black. And they were kind of like, if you see them, they're kind of like, no, don't. But then the dude with the chair, when they had to wrestle him to the ground, and then the white woman tries to come over to the cop, you see her get shoved down by the cop. She walks up to the cop. He's in the middle of trying to arrest the dude with the chair. And she comes up to the cop's face, and he takes his hand and just mushes her back, and she falls backwards over some rope. It was just
had people getting thrown in the water. You know, it's I thought it was like, it shows white privilege, because they were like, I don't care what this black security guard has to say. I can park where I want to park. And my thing was, you know, to make assumptions, because I'm gonna make assumptions here. I'm like, you're a white Southerner, so I'm pretty sure you're on some Blue Lives Matter shit. So aren't you the same ones like, oh, you know, the cops are just doing their job. Oh, they're just doing their job. He was just doing his job, like literally. Like, hey man, you can't park here. You got to move your boat. Why would you even park your boat there? I don't know how that works.
And you saw they parked it and they left. They only came running back because he was able to actually move it up. It wasn't until they realized he had moved it and they came running over like, what's this?
Oh, so they got mad at him actually touching the boat.
Actually touching and moving it completely up. Listen, this is what we're learning today, people. If you fuck around, you're gonna find out. So you're always gonna meet at this access point right here. If you fuck around, you're gonna find out. And this is the access point you meet at. Not today, Satan. This is what we're learning, folks. We're learning math.
No.
1 + 1 is equal in 4 fifths. You're not doing this anymore.
There's been a lot of memes also, because black people did show up like the Avengers, because it was like, where did all these black people show up? Where did
they? It was at one point I was like, where are they? And they all have shirts that. It was the actual staff from the riverboat that just pulled. They said that the staff was waiting at the little thing. So even before the riverboat already pulled all the way in, they were jumping off of it onto the docks to go over to help. It wasn't fully docked. They were jumping off to get over.
Oh man, I wish I was there. Also, the kid that swam across, did you hear about what happened with him?
No.
So apparently, I guess the internet's loving him right now. Coming up with all kind of nicknames for him. Shaquille Gill. What else did I see?
Aquaman. He's Sea Murder.
All of
them.
All of that. So the internet was loving him. They were like donating money to him, and he got over like $150,000. To the point he was
to the point where he was saying, "Please, people, stop sending money." Like,
now, see that part, I don't understand that.
He actually told them to stop sending money.
Matter of fact, if you guys are listening now, feel free to send me money. If you're thinking about sending him money, he said don't send no more money. You can send it to me.
You can send it to me too. That's fine.
Yeah, $ Alonzo Jules. Feel free. Also, while that's on my mind, we can all give Miss Jamie early happy birthday. Her birthday is on Monday,
Leo
April
power.
14th. So shout out to her on her birthday. Yay. You got plans?
So we are doing a Barbie themed birthday party for me next weekend.
Okay. It's not going
to be living my best Barbie girl dreams next weekend. And then so this Saturday though, we are going to the casino and we are getting lit because they have a cocktail carnival, and then it's just a tasting of hundreds of different gins, vodkas, tequilas mixed into cocktails. So I'm gonna be lit from 2 to 6 on Saturday.
Get litty to the titty. There we go.
I am ready. Thank you, 86.
And you're not gonna have it not going to Phoenix for it.
No, I ain't going there. Phoenix and its airport can kiss my ass. I am not doing any of them people. Ever again.
Still holding the grudge against Phoenix, and it's never gonna get let go.
I'm holding that grudge, like Cardi B said, forever. No, I'm so angry.
Holding grudges till I get arthritis.
I'm gonna be turning 80 something years old one day. My kid's gonna be like, "Mom, we're gonna fly you out to Hawaii, and the layover is gonna be in Phoenix, and I'm gonna turn the whole ticket away." I'm gonna be like, I don't want it.
Y'all can make some changes on this. Nobody wants to go to. I mean, let's just for a second. Let's talk about Arizona for a second. I've never been to Arizona. I have no desire to go to Arizona. But what's the most popular thing in Arizona? The Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, right? A big hole where there's less Arizona.
See, exactly.
I'm good. Arizona's a flyover state. It's a pass-through state. Nobody cares about Arizona. Like, if you live in Arizona and you have some type of Arizonan pride, I guess I apologize. I don't know why. I
apologize for nothing. Fuck Arizona. All of it.
But yeah, we're gonna get back to the subject.
Privilege is insane because when this whole thing came up, they were like, no, it's not about Black privilege. So I went and Googled different incidents where Black kids did one thing and white kids did the same thing, and like their consequences. So I remember a couple years back there was the 3 Iowa State wrestlers from the school, and they got arrested for burglary charges that were pending, and they got like they made sure to post their school photos with their ties, and they looked all proper, and they looked all, and they got like a pat on the back and like 2 hours of community service or something like that, and the judge was like, oh, you look really good kids and blah blah blah. And then pretty much the same thing happened. There was like Coralville, and it was 4 black kids, and they posted the worst pictures of these boys. And like looking, it's literally their mug shots. They look all raggedy and beat up, and they got like actual jail time. And it's like you look at this and you go back and you look and you're like, it's always going to be like this. How many times there was that one guy who was actually black who decided he was going to go on a shooting rampage, and they killed him on site. He never made. Let me know of one black person who's done any shootings that has come out alive from it. But then there was
Like
the one who walked into that church.
Dylan Roof.
Walked into the church of praying people and chained the door closed and shot and killed all those people. And they walked him out gently in handcuffs, stopped at Burger King and fed him, and then gently took him to jail and booked him. And they also didn't show a mugshot of him. They showed like a picture his mother sent them of him. It
Like
just
his
keeps
Facebook
happening.
picture or something.
And the privilege, like I'm so tired of it. It's not a thing. Google it. Google incidents that happen in schools and look at the difference of when they put the black person up there and they put the white person up there.
I mean, you can just look at. I mean, look at January 6th. Those people literally ran into a government building. They ran into the Capitol building, sitting in the Speaker of the House's office with their feet
Mhm.
up. I heard there was like, they were throwing shit around, like literal shit. They
They were
killed
throwing.
killed somebody,
Let that have
and
been
it
a
was just
black
like,
person.
oh,
Even one.
oh.
But notice there were none. Notice there were none. They went into
What is
government official buildings.
One of the main organizers actually was like a black dude.
They stole a flag out of one of the buildings and wrapped themselves in it and peed on it and burned it in the front of the dang government building. And tell me what happened to any of them. Tell me.
I thought it was the most ironic thing that I thought of about January 6th when they're showing this footage is them having Confederate flags inside of that building. And I'm like, that was the flag of the enemy of this Capitol, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you guys don't see that, but let that. Side note, I want to say one thing. This might be a little controversial. I don't disagree with people rallying against,
The government.
government like that.
Yeah,
I disagree with. I disagree with the reason. You niggas lost. Take your loss.
Thank you. It wasn't even a good reason. You gonna rally? Let's rally about the cost of these taxes and the fact that my roads is beat up and the kids can't barely go to school because teachers can't afford chalk. Let's rally about some real stuff.
You want to know what was happening around the time of that? The stores didn't have baby formula.
I remember women were worrying about feeding their babies. I remember walking up to Stop and Shop and they didn't even keep it in the closed cabinet. They kept it behind the customer service desk because people were buying like 2 cans, 3 cans, and they're like, nope, you can only buy 1 can per day.
So like, you guys, let's go rally about something like that. Like you guys lost. And, Trump, before the election even happened, he was already planting seeds about voter fraud and all this stuff. And I was just thinking, I'm like, you talking about voter fraud? Like, what if you win, bro? Is it still voter fraud?
Bruh, do you see him still talking now?
They
said that all happened. He actually was in Alabama that day. He had a rally. And I feel like that's why those people left that boat there, because they was feeling Trumpy. So they felt Trumpy and they left. And that just set it off. Like that, You know they get that little battery in their back. They're like, oh, we feel extra racist today.
Trump, yeah, Trump changed the climate of people's mentalities. It was like
Mhm.
it was a pendulum swing. Like when Obama got elected, the
In
hold up,
jail.
Trump about to be in jail for 620 years. But when Obama got elected, the enrollment to white supremacist hate groups went up like 800% or something like that. So
Sounds about right.
they got scared. So the second somebody that spoke to them, they jumped on it. But Trump is not smart. He's a fuck up.
Hmm.
I don't think that man has ever apologized for anything. He's never apologized for anything in his life.
Listen, the only thing I will say is I loved Obama. He was amazing. I love my first lady. But that Obamacare was terrible for people who have like long ailments and illnesses. So as somebody whose mother is waiting for a heart transplant and takes about 16 meds a day, her heart runs on a battery. She spends tons of time in the hospital. When Obamacare came out, it actually was a negative thing for people like her because they kept doing these things called spin downs and stuff. So she would she would get her meds for like March, and she wouldn't be able to get her meds for April. And they're like, no, you've got to give us $682 for your 16 meds. Exactly. I'm glad that you agree. It was trash. That was the worst thing. I get Obama trying to do something big. No, it was not good for people who actually have real illnesses like my mother, because she would go to the hospital and they're looking at her like, you only got like 3 days, right? And she's like, but my heart's gonna stop. So it was so bad. She couldn't get medicine. She was fighting, and still, because it's still something, they need to just get rid of it completely. It is so bad for anybody who has a sick parent, sick themselves, going through chemo, anything. So that was some trash. Need to get rid of that shit.
I mean, Republicans beat the shit out of the plan, turned it into crap. The damn Democrats didn't back Obama up. Now, that's also
That's also
been like,
Obama's fault because you're the president. I understand your Senate stuff. They have to vote. Yes, if they say no, you got to go back to the drawing board. And then you just scrap it. You scrap it. Don't still put it out there knowing that it's going to get twisted and turned. Like, my mother needs her meds. I will argue anybody to the death. We can go toe to toe. Just get rid of it, because somebody like me who has to worry about my mom getting her meds to make sure her heart works and she can wake up and breathe in the morning, just get rid of it. It did nothing. Exactly. Thank you. See, that's why I'm a Chico on here. That's my girl.
I I liked Obama as a person. I didn't really care for him too much as a political figure. Donald Trump was acting the way with white people, the way that we wanted Obama to act for black people and
Yes.
poor people.
Thank you.
Come in here and just, I don't give a fuck what y'all got to say. I'm doing what I want to do.
He put the battery in the back of them sister loving, red old beat up truck driving mofos. You knew who was voting for him. Look at the cars in the parking lot.
Yeah. I mean, like Machiko says, I like Obama as a concept.
As a concept, he gave us that. If you have a black child, there's a black president. He came in with great promises and great ideas, but there was just so many Republicans that was like, we don't give a fuck.
You got somebody like Mitch McConnell who went against anything that Obama said. He did the opposite.
Oh, can't stand.
Why did you see when still living? I don't understand. Did you see when he like shut down while he was talking?
He is barely living. You saw him freeze.
I was like,
Reaper was clearly behind the camera on the other side, and he just froze the fuck up. He needs to go.
You want to know what I think happened? I think he shit on himself.
Oh, if you have a stroke, sometimes you do.
He had a stroke?
They said he had a stroke, a mini stroke, which is why he just, like, when you stroke like that, you have no control.
Yeah, Obama, he didn't have the political backbone that we needed for him to do his plans. Like, he wanted to, like, be friends with everybody. It was like, you need to shut up. You're doing this. Like that was
Exactly.
Death was
Exactly.
like,
Death was in the audience. Death was behind the camera holding it like, it's time.
let me see if I can even find that picture. I had my friend's boyfriend did this picture. If I can even find it, I don't know if I saved it. I didn't have this preset up. I didn't know we was going to talk about this.
Like these congressmen are old. Did you see there's another one? You realize he's literally pushing like 80 something years old.
Mitch McConnell?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, 80, he's 81.
81 or something like that, right?
He's 81. I don't think it's fair for these Congress people to be over the age of 70 at the
There's
most.
another one who's I think it's is it Dianne Feinstein? She's so old. She's literally about to be 90.
She's 90.
Still on the Senate.
Yeah.
But wait, her daughter has her power of attorney and control. So she can't even make decisions or anything for herself. Her daughter has to do everything. This bitch is in a wheelchair looking like the grandma from SpongeBob who buys chocolate. She needs to.
I don't think there's a minimum age. You got
there's
18.
They need to change that. There's no maximum age. You can be in the Senate literally until you die on camera, having a stroke. Oh, yeah, Machiko, he only 80, girl. Only. Oh, and he's one of the younger senators. That's the sad part because
we don't
is freaking 80. She's 90, actually, I think. 90.
That's crazy. I mean, hey, even Joe Biden. Joe Biden is old as shit too. Oh, Joe Biden is pushing 80. We don't need any. They're not even
a smooth 2 seconds from death. They are waiting for him to drop any day.
They're not even boomers. They're from the silent generation. The silent generation.
Bruh, these people literally are older than death. I am pretty sure half of them watched the Red Sea get parted. I know they were there for the commandment writing. I know that they were there to watch the tree burn, the first burning bush.
Wait, when did Joe Biden? He's fallen a few times.
I was about to say which time. Which time? Which time?
Like the time when he was on the bike?
Why is it the one time that he fell at that podium? It was like a slow motion fall. It was the slowest slow motion fall. Like, dude, just go. Just fall. Just fall. I wanted to kick him. Just fall.
Hurry up, man.
Why are you falling so slow?
Like, we do need to have some age caps for this. And the crazy thing, I don't even know how that would even pass, because if it gets put on the ballot, it goes to Congress. The people in Congress are the ones that are going to be like,
Nope. Drop that back down. Machiko, I literally almost just spit my fruit punch out because I looked up and I saw you said Biden's legs is weak. I almost lost it just now. Literally almost lost it.
Did Trump ever fall down?
No, he just had toilet paper on his shoe walking right off the fighter jet in front of all them guards and not one person. How you not tell somebody they got toilet paper on their shoe?
Nobody
cared. One person. He had all them guards around him. It was like, look at this fool coming off the plane. Wait, did you know that Bernie Sanders is 81 too? These people is old. They need to stop. This needs to stop. His hair is always ready to. It just be holding on. That one little piece that be flapping like this.
That's why the toilet paper stuck. Because Trump.
Stuck so well. It stuck so well.
Man.
When she be pulling that hand away. Man. Watch him try to grab her hand. That one who's trying to grab her hand, and she's like she's literally get the fuck away from me.
Told you not to touch me. I was going against the beard.
Told you I'm just here for this green card. Get off of me.
Going against the contract.
She's so disgusted with him.
I've heard that Melania Trump actually has a side dude.
That wouldn't be a shocker. I mean,
I've
Trump
heard
grabs
that.
him by the pussy, so we know he got 6 or 7 side pieces. Ugh, who would touch that? I don't know, but he got a few.
Like it was going from Obama to Trump
It was such a
was a
sad fall. It was a
it's a
fall.
downgrade.
It
Like
was a downgrade. Like I thought we were
like
supposed to upgrade, like Jay-Z and Beyonce said, not downgrade.
like I'm taking politics out of it. I'm talking about as a person, as a man. Like, did
As a
you ever see?
look, as a whole.
Yeah, like, did you ever see Michelle pull away from Obama?
Never.
Never.
Not our first
They
lady.
was always touching that.
Not my first lady. That beautiful family with Bo the dog. Bo the dog. Them together as a group. Their 2 daughters are so good. The youngest one does like movies and stuff now. Living her best. Like, you still don't hear nothing bad about them.
Nope.
Tell me something bad that's happened. Any of them kids.
The worst thing that I remember they tried to drag Obama for wearing like a tan suit. I'm like, that's the worst y'all got.
Sharp. He looks sharp as a pencil out the pencil sharpener, though. They just hating.
I'm like, but your boy Trump is over here grabbing pussies and whatnot.
He looked like a whole carrot, and you worried about this man in a tan suit? I'm tired of this. Oh, and you know, Trump publicly had his mistress telling all in her little book, Stormy, whatever.
Oh, Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, telling all the business. I mean, at least Bill Clinton's kept it quiet till the dress.
That was weird. But Stormy Daniels, she ripped up the NDA. Like, nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this.
She was like, you don't need that. You don't need that. What paper? I ain't signed nothing. You got your copy? No, so it didn't exist.
Over here describing his dick and shit. Nobody want to hear that.
I was so disgusted the fact she described Trump's dick.
She said it looked like Toad from Mario Brothers. I'm like, not Toad. Come on, man. No, I like Toad.
We don't want to hear about this right now.
Obama had Riz. You're gonna have to explain what Riz is to Uncle AJ, because y'all kids draw new words and whatnot. I don't know what that means.
I was about to say we old. You gotta dumb it down for our old asses.
Come on, I'm a what do they call me? A geriatric millennial?
Oh, charisma.
Okay.
Obama's always been smooth.
Exactly. It's an insult to Toad. Toad didn't do nothing to nobody. That's my guy, Toad.
Just an embarrassment as a people.
So why these kids coming up with these new words, man? I guess that's a sign. You want to know what really made me feel old lately? Generation Alpha is starting to make memes. That's the generation after Gen Z.
Oh my god. I'm too old. I didn't even know that there's that many names for them. That's how old I am. Where all these goddamn names come from? Who making this shit up? Who's making this up?
Kids. We made up our words. We had our words.
Yes.
Like, it's the boomers. They're like the oldest well, I guess the silent generation is older than the boomers. Then it's the boomers, Generation X. Then it's us, the millennials, and then Gen Z, and then Generation Alpha.
No.
I mean, it's always been like that.
No, I don't like it.
I don't know if there's anybody still alive from the generation before the silent generation. That would be like, I think that's the greatest generation. They went through some hard shit, so they can have their little greatest generation name. Y'all earned it.
Isn't that where Bernie Sanders and them old asses? And I'm just kidding. That's where they old. I'm so mad when they're like, oh, we're just making a new name for the boomers. Like, no.
But see, at least Bernie Sanders tries to keep his finger on the pulse of what's.
He can barely keep his pulse going. How is he keeping his finger on anything? He is barely kicking.
Bernie Sanders entertains me when he gets angry.
Camille, the minute they stop putting CDs in laptops, listen.
Man,
you know how cool I thought I was burning CDs back in the day? Man,
I I had got a laptop and I was looking for the CD slot. I'm like, where's the CD slot? And I'm thinking, I'm like, maybe I just, maybe I got the wrong type of laptop or whatever. And then people tell
No,
me, oh
it
yeah,
don't.
they don't do that no more. I'm like,
You used to
man,
hit that little side button and it shoot out the tray.
yeah,
Man, listen, these
hell,
kids don't know. It's funny. We were looking at Amazon the other night. He saw a Tamagotchi. We almost ordered them. Listen.
you gotta fight against the nostalgia buys because that's what they're doing to us now. A floppy disk.
Listen, I could show my kids that stuff. They would have no clue. No clue.
Uh, I'm mad because I had a bunch of poems on a floppy disk that I didn't convert over to the
AJ.
new stuff. I know. It was from high school. It's probably a lot of cringy shit on there now that I think about it.
You
I
want
don't
to know
know.
I know I'm old? My daughter said to me one day, she goes, yeah, you know what kind of like pads and stuff to get me, right? Because did they have periods when you were coming up? I was like, bitch, I will shank you. Get off. She dead. I'm like, I know you trying to mess with me. But she was just like, do they even have periods when you were coming up? Get out of my face.
Nah. Kids, younger kids that were born in 2000 on are referring to us being born in the 1900s.
You know my daughter, she all the time. She's like, oh, did they even have that back then? Back then, bitch, get out my face. No, that's what it was. We're laying in the bed last night, and my daughter comes downstairs and she opens the room door, and she's like, "Oh, your birthday is coming up. It's almost your birthday." And she's like, "You're like old." And I was like, "Bitch, I'm not that old. I'm gonna be 37." She goes, "Oh, I thought you was about to be 40 something. Get out my room."
So what's Camille saying here?
40 something.
My nephew asked what an iPod was. Whoa, that wasn't even that long ago.
iPods were not that long ago.
Wow.
What you need to do, Camille, is go pull out an old iPhone, that original iPhone that was big as hell, like this fat and this thick.
Pull out a rotary phone. Really, really confusing.
Oh my God. We were somewhere and there was a rotary phone, and my kids were like, wow, what's this? I was like, it's a phone. So I said to her daughter, I was like, how do you make a phone call on that? So she lifts it up and she's like pushing in between the thing. And I was like, really? Is that how you think you make a phone call? And she's like, yeah, Mom, you just touch the numbers in between the holes. I said, no, you have to put your finger in and whip it all the way around. And I'm showing her. And she's like, oh my God.
Mad as hell with somebody with nines in their number. All these nines and zeros. Man, fuck you.
I feel like hanging up on people when you're angry with an iPhone, you don't get the same effect. That slam of a phone, there's nothing better than that slam of a phone.
My mom was saying the same thing.
And it make that little ringing sound when you slam it real hard. Yeah. There's nothing better than the slam of a phone, I swear. Or that long-ass phone cord that would go from the kitchen wall all the way through the living room. My mom would be like, don't be stretching out my cord. Like, don't make it so long then.
In our house, we actually had like a 50-foot cord. So, cord to be all through the house.
Being old for us, these are like classic things.
What was that used for before, like, there was a hashtag? It's called
that's the pound sign.
The number sign. The pound sign.
The pound sign, yeah.
But
so back in the day, like when I lived down south, you would hit the pound sign. It was pound 11 or something was like your information.
Sex lines.
There you go. But back in the day, it was the information. It was like pound 11 or something like that, and it got you the information. But that was the only thing I knew. The best thing they ever invented was star 69. And when you call somebody back, don't play on my phone. Don't play on my phone. I'm gonna call you back. I thought it was so cool the first time I got caller ID. I felt so special. For my 14th birthday, I had an old school Winnie the Pooh phone. It was a big Winnie the Pooh and had a honey pot. And when it would ring, Piglet would come out of the honey pot and go, hoo hoo. So I would answer the phone. And my My mom was like, for your birthday, we're gonna get you your own phone line.
Oh,
Couldn't
you was
tell me
made.
nothing.
You had your own
Couldn't
phone
tell.
line.
I had my own line because I used to
Listen to
always use the
privileged girl over
AOL.
here.
This is privilege. I was the privileged black girl because I had my own. I would always use up the phone line on my AOL. And if a call came in, it knocked you offline. That yep. See, anybody who's too young, y'all don't know. So my mom was like, all right, for your birthday, you can get your own phone line and we're gonna get you call waiting. Bitch, you couldn't tell me. Oh, hold on, we're gonna call them three-way. Shh, be quiet. I don't want them to know you on the phone. That was the way to get people. That was screenshots back in the day.
So that was it. That was the original screenshot.
Be quiet. I'm gonna call them, and I'm gonna ask them the questions. Don't say nothing. And the person will always jump in and start saying something and blow it up every time. Every time.
Messing up.
Mess it up every time.
It's funny because now I can go on this whole. Kids had it so easy back in the day. If you wanted to hear a song, you just go on the internet. You can go look on the YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. What we had to do, if you wanted a song, you got to sit there by the radio and wait for me to play that shit, and hopefully you can get there in time to push record.
Record and play at the same time. Man, listen. You know how cool I was when I got my first phone, and we used to leave the voicemails. So we would hold the phone near the radio for a voicemail. I'm like, hey, this is Jamie. I can't come to the phone right now, but if you hit me later, I'll call you back. And then it'd be like, oh, baby, bring it on to me. Like, I would have the radio right there. Listen, you couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me.
That was...
Oh, Camille, I had that phone. That, like, old... Clarissa Explains It All see-through clear phone, and it was all like lit up inside. Oh my god!
Hold up, you had a desktop? You had a desktop computer in your room?
I did too. You didn't have a desktop?
Hell nah.
I told you I burned.
Hell nah.
I used to make $5 a CD.
I had a friend that would make CDs for me. He's like, yeah, just give me a blank and I'll make you one. So I would come up with my list of songs.
$5.
And that man,
see Camille too. Hey Camille, hey Machiko, with our desktops in our room.
With you rich kids with your own computer. I didn't get my own computer until I was grown. But I used to hate, like, I would give somebody a list of songs to make, and they wouldn't listen to the song beforehand. So you would get these like half-ass songs, or somebody talking through the song, or it wouldn't even be the right song. Like, bro, you didn't listen to it.
Wait, Machiko, the cow print. Used to love the cow print on that was the best part. The best part.
See, me and Charles was on the same. The desktop was in the living room.
Nope, I have my own. My little AOL character.
What was your AOL name?
It was MZBUBEAR. It was Ms. Boo Bear.
Okay.
Because my sister, my nickname was Boo Bear. Okay. So my sister called me Boo Bear. So it was MZBUBEAR.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It wasn't bad.
Mine was Royally Smooth. Sexy Nurse. Hello,
oh
nurse.
My God, Machiko.
Well, a half-ass Tony song.
I was neither sexy nor a nurse.
I got a funny story about Napster. If you guys want to hear my not even a funny story, just kind of on brand for AJ, if you know me now. So Napster, if you guys didn't know, Napster actually had a chat feature. You could chat with people. There was a chat room on Napster.
Yep.
I met a girl on there, and that was my first kiss. I met my first kiss through Napster.
Total shocker, AJ. I would have never guessed.
We went to Disneyland. Our first kiss was on Splash Mountain.
That is such an AJ thing.
Hey, they knew it involved a girl. All of you can shut up.
Camille, there was no shock. Check one. Do you know how grown we used to be back in the day in them little chats that they would have, them AOL chats? What's your ASL? Age, sex, location. These kids, I asked my kids that one day. I was like, do you know what ASL means? And they're like, isn't that like one of those second Spanish language classes? And I'm like, bitch, that is age, sex, location.
Well, now ASL
Black
is like
Planet.
as
Oh my
hell.
God, Camille. Black
Black Planet. Now I got sorted.
Listen.
Black Planet is how I lost my virginity.
Again, Camille, we're so shocked.
Yeah. Hey.
She said they need to bring that shit. We had
They
classic
tried.
stuff. These kids will never know that if your best friends was everybody in your top MySpace friends, that top list,
Ooh, I used to like that. Put people in their
top
place.
5 in your listen. And if somebody made you mad, they'd bump their asses down and they'd be like, "How come I'm not in your top people? Because you ain't shit today. That's why."
Hell yeah,
Next
that
time,
was the
hold
way.
the door when I'm walking up at school.
I'm a little mad with MySpace because I don't know. I guess one of their servers died or something, and took my pictures. I went back over there to try to get some old pictures. Nah, pictures gone.
MySpace,
You know, but
you could put music on your startup page, your home page. You used to be able to change the background; it could move and stuff.
they had us doing code.
We was putting in them special copy and pasting codes from Google. Listen, MySpace had us before our time.
Hey.
Camille,
See,
exactly. Coding my ass off. You want music? You want your top? Listen, I got you.
Well, hold on. I didn't know. Hold up, Charles said, "You remember when you could post a new profile picture and the person would claim it?" I didn't do that one. Maybe I wasn't cool. I don't know. I wasn't cool enough.
That was like towards the end of people moving out of MySpace, but that was dope. But I used to hate it because there always be somebody ugly who would claim yours. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
that's literally what it said. Such and such owns this pic. Yes.
Like what? You know, it was one of those things where I was looking for a picture. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I posted it on MySpace. Let me go back over there, and I was like, damn, ouch.
Camille, I could never get mine to change to the top 20. I could get it up to 10. I could never get it to 20.
I use that bitch like a power ranking.
MySpace was the business back, and we thought we were so dope. Okay.
MySpace.
We are feeling
MySpace missed the curve because I remember there was a time where it was like MySpace and Facebook were like overlapping.
That's what Charles is saying. He remembers when it used to be just games. I remember. I used to go on there just for Farmville.
And you were saying, in your basic post, like, oh, eating an apple.
I hate when those memories pop up because I'm like, Facebook is reminding me of how dumb I used to be back in the day. Just gonna take a walk, getting on the bus to work, like dumb stuff, making soup. Oh, I'm so mad at myself when those memories pop up.
It's okay. I've had my moments with my memories too, where I'm like, oh no,
who is this person?
This needs to never see the light of day.
I was one of those. I was looking back once, and I was like, oh my god, I was one of those basic people who would do a lowercase capital, lowercase capital, lowercase when writing. I said, why was I this way? Oh, Aisha, that was the whole.
We I don't know how we got on this subject. I don't know. We went from talking about that to politics to generational stuff. We started talking about generational stuff. That's how we got on this subject. So yeah, if you're listening now, we did talk about the brawl. If you want to throw out some opinions about it now, feel free. I know we kind of went off the rails, got distracted from
we got distracted by MySpace and memories, Napster,
but hey,
desktops, rotary phones. We just went down memory. You know how cool I thought I was? I remember it was like my 10th grade year, and everybody had those razors, the cell phone and I didn't have one, and I felt so left out because I had the old school candy bar with the little flip down, little flap at the bottom. And Christmas came, and my mom bought me one, and it only had 150 minutes on it, and it was pink, and I thought it was so cute, and I used up all my minutes in like the first week. And it was after that I learned, don't call me till after 7.
Yep.
If I text you, don't text me back. Just call me after 7 because it charged you for minutes out, minutes in, everything. Thought I was cute as hell.
Oh, man. I remember I was the only friend that had free text messaging. And my friends used to say, stop texting me. Stop texting me.
Stop texting me. It charged me. That's 5 cents.
y'all can tell me WWE has an effect on culture. Everybody was using steel chair as a weapon. Exactly. That's what I was saying, Charles. I'm
That's
like, y'all
exactly what he
surprised?
said, Charles.
If you want to see some mean chair shots, Google the Undertaker chair shot. That is some of the meanest. He broke a chair on somebody, and the chairs are not they're real chairs. So it was like,
You know what?
feel bad for you.
We'll get back to this white privilege thing. We're gonna talk about this next podcast because we're gonna have a blast. Okay.
Yeah, we can go into depth about it. We can
Let's get
make
back to
sure
justice being served and blacks being there for each other.
we came together. It was good for us to come together. I thought it was good for us as a culture to see that also. So the next time something like that happens, it's not us just being a bunch of people watching.
You know, they want to call us ignorant. Go ahead and say it. We're not being a bunch of ignorant black people. No, we are showing you we're not our ancestors. You're not going to put your hands on us. You're not going to put your hands on Uncle Ruckus. And you're not going to get away with this. We're going to stomp you out like grapes for wine. We are not taking this shit no more. We are going to swim across oceans. Don't ever look at a black person and say black people can't swim, because we had sea murder out there swimming laps and breaststrokes like he was Michael Phelps. Marcus Phelps came up on that dock, kicked them boots off. What we not meant to do is allow you to touch on our beautiful black people anymore. Protect black people.
I mean, also with our thing too, if it would have been a one-on-one, it might have been a little different. We might have been like, all right, well, they just fight.
Family.
Like you're not gonna mob on it. You know, the South is notorious for stuff like that. You know, not too long ago, people were doing the same thing and going way farther than those people ever went. You know, we got the strange fruit, all the stuff in the South. So, in a place that's notorious for that kind of stuff, like, nah, we not doing none of that.
No more. No
we had the memes up here.
But like I said, Trump was there earlier in the day, and they felt groggy, and they fucked around and found out. Not today, Aisha. Not today, Satan.
They got charged with assault. It was most of the white people. I think the guy with the chair got caught with assault.
Was two black people. The guy with the chair, and then one other, but I don't know why. But yeah, all three of the actual white men, Zachary, Richard, and forget the other one's name, Todd or some shit. All of them.
But
they will go to court.
It's good to see that the white privilege did not help them get away with being pieces of shit. I'm like, you guys are totally in the wrong here in every situation, in every way. Why are you parked? Why is your boat docked where the river boat's supposed to be docked?
Exactly. And then had the nerve to jump on this man for he was doing his job. He was doing his job. That is all I can say over and over again. But when he threw that hat up in the air, like the black bag signal, and all them black people came to his rescue, he threw that hat up, and every black person was like, that signal, we are not anymore. We are not allowing it.
I would like to know why exactly did he throw his hat in the air? Because, is that I've seen people rip their shirts off, when they're about to get to a fight.
Listen, he was like, I'm done. That was the I'm done signal.
Oh, I was about to say, who got licked? She meant kicked. One white female today.
Yes, the wife of Richard Roberts, because he got two first names. She knew he was a problem right then. She was the one, when they knocked him down, she came over and kicked him, which is why when the black women got off the ship and they swung on her ass and they kicked her when she was down, she deserved everything she got.
So is that really true? Like throwing a hat in the air is a way for call for backup? I've never heard that one before. I get it though.
That, okay. You know okay.
He said it's a okay. Because I'm from California. Jamie's from Connecticut, so we didn't know about that.
Well,
that
my
makes sense
family
though.
from Sumter, but I didn't know about that. So I'm learning new things.
That's a pretty cool situation.
Well, they came by ocean. They came by foot. Listen, it was not. They was
Because
not having
I
it.
know out here, you got people that are scream out certain words that's like backup, like the Bloods do the whole swoop. They do that thing. I know the
Yep,
Bloods do
there's the
that.
woody whoop, there's the sue. Yep, but
Yeah. So
woody whoop,
yeah.
exactly, Camille. Whoop, whoop.
That's the code of the killers.
Listen,
So all right, we probably gonna wrap this up right now. Thank you guys for joining us here at Late Night All Day podcast. Even though we kind of got off the subject today, but
it was great.
I think next week, yeah, I think let's talk
Let's
about
go nostalgic.
let's
Do
go
it.
nostalgia. I got my reservations about nostalgia, but we could talk about it either way.
We just had a
So
whole big moment.
if you want to find me on social media, bam, Alonzo Jules everywhere. Facebook, Twitter. Fuck that. I'm never calling Twitter X. It's gonna be Twitter forever.
It's Twitter.
Instagram, all that. Jamie, find her Miss Jamie
Mrs.
Johnson.
Johnson, 86.
Mrs. Jamie Johnson, 86. So yeah, make sure you guys follow us on the Late Night All Day podcast. If you're not following us there, because I know a lot of you are showing up on my Dorian page, but that's cool too. So for Miss Jamie Johnson, sorry, this is Jamie Sear, AJ Graham, and I'll say good morning
Good night and
and
goodbye.
goodbye.